On today's episode, I show you how to go from this to this and finally to this. I usually start off with a cutoff wheel. Here I am removing the chunks of metal that were left from where we had cut it off with the Sawzall and the cutoff wheel before. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the big chunks off so I don't have to grind as much. So the more you can cut off, the less you have to grind. I employ the same method that I did before, using the cutoff wheel and the hammer to kind of break off what I can. In my opinion, it just makes it a lot easier and it goes a lot quicker. You want to be careful when you're cutting, just like before. You don't want to gouge into the tube. That's what you're trying to avoid. You're trying to avoid making anything that you might have to weld up or making any more imperfections on the tube than you're already going to have. Here I've switched over to the grinding rock. I usually take the grinding rock and try to knock off the majority of the material and get the welds down as small as possible. So when I come in later, I'll use a flap disc, and the flap disc will make things a lot nicer. If you have access to a torch or a plasma cutter, that would really make it a lot easier, but I know this is what most guys would use in their own home shop. Here I am switching to a flap disc. Now, I'm trying to concentrate on only grinding the weld. When I'm grinding, I try not to go any further than the weld, and I try to only get the weld. The more of the parent material you remove, the more you're going to be able to see where you did all your grinding. So you're trying to just barely remove the weld and barely touch the parent material so it doesn't look as bad. Here you can see that I'd switch disc and get a fresh one on there. You always want to try to feather it out so that you're not getting those big lumps in there, but you're never going to get it perfect. So don't worry too much about it. Just try to get it the best you can. Here's my finished product. With a good coat of paint, you'll barely notice it. You can still see the imperfections in there. That's why I say that, don't worry about it too much. I have an idea that I want to try on this one. I'm going to take it over to a buddy of mine's shop and throw it in the lathe. Here it is in the lathe. This thing was sketchy. Just a big old spinning chunk of death, just waiting to suck somebody in and hurt you badly. But it did a pretty good job cleaning it up, and it got a lot of the imperfections out. I'm not going to miss that 1/16 of an inch of material, if that I removed. As soon as it got out of the lathe, here it is after I cleaned it up with the wire wheel, sanded it a little bit with some emery cloth, just trying to get it looking as good as I can. I also hit the C's and knuckles with the wire wheel. I just got these back from Busted Knuckle. I had them machined for the high steer arms. They use keyed high steer arms. I chose the steel ones. I just think they're stronger, but that's just a personal opinion. Here's the 14 bolt in the mill, trying to get it shaved down for the 15 bolt shave by TMR. I don't have my kit in yet, so I was just kind of being really conservative as what went through here. Here it is after I got the majority of it taken out. It was my first time doing this. Thanks for watching.